guys, this is Christopher, and this is
I'm
David,
David.
and
Hi.
this is the Wombs Legacy
Love on Top.
I'm so excited to come back to you again with new episode, new things to talk about, and we're gonna open the conversation up about sex.
Sex. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all of the... I don't know the words.
It don't matter. And we're gonna bring to you that it's different types of sex out there. Different types, different, sex toys, threesomes, group sex,
S&M, bondage, BDSM,
like
sex toys,
pornos,
all of it.
all of it is all included into Let's Talk About Sex. So, I want to start off with when it comes to like threesomes. A lot of people is scared to have like threesomes, especially when you into a couple. Like most people don't want to have another third person in the bed. But I just feel like it's really nothing wrong with doing stuff like that. I just feel like you can have a third person or extra person. But I also said that when you do stuff like that, please have a talk with your partner to make sure that you and him is clear about certain sex or certain sex ideas coming into your bed. You get what I'm saying? It's always good to have a conversation first and then do it, not to just do it and then you have a third person and then it's a whole disaster while your partner is sleeping with the other guy behind your back and stuff. Because we get a lot of, we get a lot of different people that say stuff like that. Like why this has happened, why that's not happened. It ain't happened to the other couple. Well, maybe the other couple actually had a conversation before they actually had a third person in the bed. So we just wanted to make sure, like when it comes to threesomes, just to talk about it. Talk about, like the side of your boyfriend or your husband. Let's just talk. Let's just see the ideas of when it comes to different sex. Let's have that talk before we bring a second person into third person into that bed. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. There's plenty of single people out there having sex.
Agree.
So my thing is that you gotta find what works for you. I think that people could be really closed about sex. Like everybody's doing it. Nobody wants to talk about it. And then no one wants to talk about what they like, what keeps their bowl afloat. I sound like an old person. But what keeps their cradle rocking. Everybody wants to do it, but no one wants to discuss it. And I think that whether you're in a relationship or not, whoever your sex partner is, you need to be in communication with them
and to know
about
what they talk about.
Yeah, you need communication with them about what you like. It was a Neo song way back when he first came out that said, "Tell me what you want me to do to you. Say it."
Right.
Say it. How am I supposed to know how to please my partner if my partner don't say what he or she likes?
It's true. How's somebody supposed to know? You have to express your opinion of what you try to accomplish when it comes to that.
Yeah,
I agree.
that's true. And then you got all these different types of sex now. So, or things that's included in sex. Like some people like to be tied up.
Right. Some people like to be whipped. Some people like to be like you said, tied up like chains. Some people like to just want to be choked. Which is all I wouldn't do it, I just be real.
You're not choking
I wouldn't do it because you're not choking me, okay? And you're not going to abuse me. Let me bring myself back.
You just had a moment. No, but the thing about it is that there are people who really do like that kind of stuff.
And I'm not really shaming
no,
people because give you that orgasm, you do what you want. But you know,
Now you mentioned orgasms.
yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about orgasms for a minute.
Okay.
Okay, because as a man, and you being a man,
Mm-hmm.
you're a man, right?
I'm a man.
Oh, I'm married a man. As a man, we don't really have to think about orgasms because we have orgasms when we buzz,
Right.
when we ejaculate.
Right.
For all the people who, you know,
Get into the sexual thing that you know.
yeah, when
like
you
to
have
do.
sex
Mhm.
and you release, you orgasm as a man.
Right.
But for women, it's not that simple.
It's a little bit different.
Like for women, you know, it's been a long time, but I do remember that, you know, with women, I heard women say that they've been having sex with me in their 40s and they never, like never ever had an orgasm.
I know a lot of people like that never actually had like an orgasm, and you know, it's kind of sad. A
That's
little bit.
real sad.
It really is kind of sad. That means that some of these guys really don't know what they be doing, or maybe, you know, I be hearing certain women say, "How do an orgasm work?"
That means they go their whole sexual life without orgasm. So that means, you know, they having sex, it may be some kind of physical pleasure, but they never reach a peak.
Right.
That's a problem.
That is a big problem. Like us gay people, we don't really have that issue.
Well,
Well, some of us
you
probably
could possibly
do.
have that issue because then there's the issue of tops and bottoms, right? So you have certain tops who is only interested in using your behind, your ass, as a masturbation tool.
It's
In
true.
other words, they just want to do you until they get to their ending. They want, right. They want to do you until they climax.
Right.
They're not interested in whether you climax or not. So in a lot of ways, sexually, I think that bottoms is treated like women.
It's true because I like literally heard a lot of bottoms complain about, you know, yeah, he did it right, but it wasn't that great because he came and you have a lot of selfish tops that would just, you know, to have sex with you and stuff. Sometimes to be good, sometimes to be horrible and stuff. But as long as they bust, they don't really care if the bottom actually get they bust off. And it's pretty sad because, you know, when you single and stuff like that, it's sad. When you in a relationship and stuff like that is going on,
It's worse.
it's worse. See, you see how I said it? Well, let me say it again. When you single and you going through stuff like that, it's sad. But when you in a relationship and you going through stuff like that, it's worse.
Mm-hmm. And then you need to. Then you need to.
You need to talk.
You need to talk.
It's a talk. And I always feel too. Sometimes it's never good when it's like really bad sex to say to your partner, you have sex. You not having, you know, great sex. Use the worst at it. No, never say that. Just put them off to the side and say, you know, I'm having some little bit issues. You know, what's been going on? Because maybe at that time being, he probably was having a lot of issues, like with depressed or stuff like that. So when you fall into a depressed mode, you really don't care about sex at the moment. So, you know, you need to communicate with your partner. This is what I'm talking about relation-wise. You need to communicate with your partner and tell them that, you know, I'm having a little problem, and then maybe go to therapy and work something out. But not just don't tell them at all and then cheat on them, because that's never great either.
And then sometimes you just need to communicate that maybe your sex life is stagnant.
Right.
Maybe you need to spice it up. So, you know, it's like, okay, do you do sex the same way all the time?
Right.
Or are you trying new things? You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
Or are you trying new places? You know, if you got your own apartment, your own house, you ain't always got to do it in the bedroom because
No.
that's your house.
You could,
So you could be in the shower. We could do it in the shower. Both our bodies dripping wet.
at the bedroom.
Give you a night you won't forget on the kitchen floor.
That sounds so cute on your bed.
We could do it anywhere. You could do it anywhere, like literally. But some people just get into a routine of, okay, it's Wednesday
So I guess that
and it's 5 o'clock,
you need to fall in line.
so it's time for us to have sex. That could be a little bit complicated. You know what I'm
It
saying?
could be like a lot complicated, especially when you like sex is a little bit natural. I feel like you built in the natural like desire and natural horniness to another person, not actually it's based on time
Not time.
and based on let me check my schedule. Maybe I'm booked or maybe I'm busy or so.
But you know the thing is that, so going back to relationships, when you're in a relationship rather, you have to sometimes make time for sex because it gets to a point
It does get to
where, especially if you're with somebody that is busy, an entrepreneur, and you're an entrepreneur, it gets to a point where your schedules clash.
It definitely gets to a point where you have schedule class. That's why it's always good to basically, talk about it and stuff like that, and just try to get, what's been going on. Like, just connect. It's always good to connect as well when you have your partner and stuff like that. Never lose that bond, because when you start to lose it, everything goes downhill.
That's right. And one other thing I wanted to kind of talk about was how people put rules for tops and rules for bottoms
And birds.
and rules for verse people.
Oh, jeez.
You don't have to fall into these rules. Bottoms have to do this, tops have to do this. Like for instance, I'll give you an example. This is a little bit personal. So in every relationship I've been in, I've always been sexually and relationship-wise more of the aggressor, more of the dominant one, if you want to put a label on it. And because of that, my partners never wanted to hold me. Now that may sound like real simple, right? But then I have a Chris who happens to be a whole bunch taller than I am.
Yeah.
Chris is 6'3",
Yeah.
I'm 5'6". And even though not much has changed as far as how our connection goes, I finally got with somebody that will hold me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean about like rules and roles. It's like certain things you can't do sexually because it will make you less of a man.
Right.
Or a bottom has to be masculine, feminine, because if they're masculine, maybe a top won't want them, or even the opposite.
Or even the opposite. You
know?
have some tops that want masculine
guys.
guys, and then don't want to get with somebody that's a feminine, basically.
This is
And
true.
it's kind of sad, because you, like, it don't really matter. Like, you a man. You have masculine characteristics. So you cannot tell me as another man, because I'm a little bit feminine, I'm less of a man. That's never great. If I could put it down the bathroom, you have some bottoms these days with top and have him running, and he's turning to a bottom.
Rolling
You
over
got
and
that-
sucking.
you rolling over and sucking
On
and
his
stuff like
thumb,
that,
baby.
sucking on his thumb and everything, and would do it right to him. So it's never good to judge. It's never just good to judge a book by its cover. It's never good, because you don't know what will happen in that bed.
Yeah.
When you get into that bed with somebody, he'll turn your ass out.
Out, baby.
Don't
Are you
judge.
talking?
Don't judge.
And that's the thing. But we wanted to kind of come and have this conversation about sex because, like I said, a whole bunch of people doing it.
A whole bunch of people doing it.
Nobody wants to talk about it.
And some people go on Jag, some people go on, what's the other site?
They go on Adam for Adam, BGC,
and stuff and look for people.
Grindr.
Now, with those sites and stuff, I don't know. You know, sometimes you just have to be careful on every site that you basically go on because you just don't never know who you're going to actually run into.
Yeah, and that's true. But, you know, when it comes to those sites, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to, you know, demonize anybody who uses those sites for sex.
No.
Because okay.
No, see,
I've done it before.
I've done it before too as well. But you know, how do you really get into the mood of basically going into those sites? Because basically, you never had a conversation. You had a conversation with the person, but then you have to meet them. And the guys that you meet on those sites is like rush stats, like rush, like
Rush.
let's do this now. And it's kind of hard as being like a human being. You know, you have a lot of people that's into that.
Mm-hmm.
That would just be like, yeah, boom, boom, boom. But then you have some people like, okay, let me just talk to you a little bit more because at least let me get to know your name. You know, it's kind of hard.
Okay, I can say for myself, I cannot be sexual with anybody if I don't know their name.
No, I mean,
Or if I haven't at least spent an hour, okay,
or two.
you know, let's be generous, a half hour having some sort of conversation.
Something.
I'm gonna tell my business. When I was 19 years old, I had a hookup, right?
Yeah.
Come on. That was long before you. Okay, this was like at the very beginning of my like sexual right, that's a good word. This was at the beginning. And this guy, I had met him on this is how you know it's way back, child. Oh.
MySpace?
No, not MySpace. It was Boost Mobile Chat.
What the hell is that?
So, you know, if you had a Boost mobile phone, for
Oh,
those of you
okay,
who had a
okay,
Boost mobile
yeah.
phone back in the day, y'all know what I'm talking about. They had like chat rooms, right?
Okay.
So I went on the chat room, and you know, the guy came over, and you know, I went outside to make sure he wasn't ugly,
Right.
you know, ugly to me.
Right.
That you, or he wasn't like 90 years old.
Right.
That was more about what it was about.
Yeah.
Little cutie, you know, my age. He came in the house, and he literally came in the house. And I hope he don't see this. He probably don't even remember it, because the thing about it is that I never knew his name. He came in the house, and he literally was like, let's get down to business. He didn't even say let's get down to business. He went in the bedroom, and he took off his clothes, and he got in position.
Like,
Okay? And and the thing about it is that I couldn't do it.
wow.
Because of how I am as a person is, you know, that kind of threw me off guard. I'm like, what's your name? James, John, Jim? What? James, John, Jim, like, what's your name?
Right.
At least, how old are you? I don't know nothing. So he said to me, well, maybe you just the kind of, maybe you're a relationship guy, you know?
But you got men like that. You got men like that is just relationship men that is not used to stuff like that. You got men that is used to stuff like that. You got different types of men
Yeah.
that's used to that.
So when it comes to sex, I just say, be free, be safe,
Yes.
use a condom,
Use a condom. Yeah.
and be you. Don't put so much limits on sexuality.
No. Because
You know?
it's always good, especially if you're a couple and you sing, it's always good to, you know, experience different things. You know?
Especially if you're experiencing it together.
Together.
So if this is for
It's
you
the
couples
couple,
out there,
right.
if you have a man, experience together.
Yeah.
And if you single, have fun,
Have fun.
but be safe.
But be safe, basically.
Wrap it up.
Use some
Put
condoms.
on a coat. Wear a rain jacket.
Don't be in the bushes.
Well, if you in the
if you in
bushes,
the bushes, have a coat
put
on.
on a condom. So this has been Let's Talk About Sex.
Let's talk about sex.
We just had to be as open and honest about everything as we possibly can.
Yes.
And my thing about it, you probably gonna watch this and then go on MyVista or Pornhub
Right.
or one of those other things and have sex with yourself.
Right.
Oh, that's the safest form of sex. We didn't talk about that.
No.
Masturbation
It's
is the safest form of sex.
Safest sex. Yes. Everybody do it. I feel like everybody do it.
Everybody, come on.
Women,
Everybody
guys, and stuff. People always act like they don't. Child, I feel like everybody do it.
Everybody does.
Everyone does. But it's safe.
It's safe.
It's the safest thing, and it's nothing to be ashamed of.
So be safe, be free, and be you.
Do you?
This has been another episode
Of the Williams Legacy.
Love on Top.
I would love to thank the sponsor again, Stilt Shoes, Rise Entertainment,
Cosmo Girl Glaminate, Yvonne Lee Ties, and we'd like to thank Strip Talk Live
Strip Talk Live.
for sponsoring this wonderful show. And we can't wait till you come back next week to see another episode of the Williams Legacy Love on Top.
Bye.